Hi everybody, thank you for watching. So today's video is going to be 7 brands I think you should try in 2017. So if you guys caught it a couple months back, I believe it was, I did 7 brands that I want to try in 2017, and I basically just listed off a couple of brands that I've been eyeing that I really wanted to purchase from, and then I was hoping 2017 would be the year that I did. When I was getting ready to sit down to film today, I actually had something else in mind, and somehow this just popped in my head. And I think it's because I've been talking to a lot of people, especially on my Snapchat, and saying things like, I really think you should try this brand, I really think you should try this from this brand, like, oh, you haven't tried this brand yet? I highly recommend them. And so when I was thinking about filming, all of a sudden it just popped in my head and I thought, well, I'm just gonna roll with it. So that is exactly what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to go through 7 brands that I think that you should try in 2017. If you haven't yet, hopefully you have, but in case you haven't, in case you haven't heard of these brands, tried anything from them, I'm gonna let you know why I think that you should try them and also share some of my favorite products that I would highly recommend from each of the brands. I always love recommending makeup and letting you guys know some of my favorite items. So I'm super excited to do this. Hopefully you guys like this video. I know it might be a little bit different, but my 7 brands I want to try in 2017 went over really well. I'd actually kept meaning to film a part 2 of that because people requested a part 2, but this can kind of be like a part 2, except it's all about you guys now. Some of the brands are going to be like smaller brands. Some of them are going to be ones that I just don't think get as much hype as maybe other brands do, or just ones that I like really feel passionately about or really have some items that I definitely would want to recommend to you guys. So that is what today's video is going to be, 7 brands that I think that you should try in 2017 if you haven't yet. But why don't we go ahead and get started. The first brand that I think that you should try in 2017 if you haven't is Pur Cosmetics. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, this is going to come as no shock to you because I have been saying, I mean, since I started my channel, that Pur is one of my favorite brands, and I definitely feel like they're super underrated. I know that I have filmed an underrated makeup and brands video in the past, and I have mentioned Pur because I think they do amazing work. They have really good products, but I feel like I don't hear a lot about them. And whenever I seem to talk about Pur, there is so many people on social media, on Snapchat, that are like, oh, I've never tried anything from this brand yet. And I'm like, get on it. You gotta get on it. So in case you haven't tried anything yet from Pur, I think 2017 should be the year that you do, and I'll go over a few of my favorite items. I have been wearing Pur since my college days. The very first thing that I ever bought from them was their 4-in-1 pressed mineral powder. This is, I don't even know what number this is for me, but it's definitely in the double digits. I'm super excited that this palette is coming back in stock. I have talked about it a lot. I was so bummed out when it went away because it was a collaboration. Usually collabs are limited edition, but there has been so much success with this palette and so many people love it, and I was definitely one of those people that emailed Pur. I was like, hey, you really need to bring back the Trolls palette, and they are. I think that you could still get it at Kohl's. Like sometimes it was on the Kohl's website, sometimes I didn't see it there, sometimes people said that they found it in their Kohl's, but it was a limited edition palette, but it is now back and it is available once again on the Pur website, so I'll have it linked down below. But I freaking adore this palette. It is so good. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I do a makeup tutorial almost every single day. I would say at least 4 or 5 days a week I'm posting a makeup tutorial, and you see me use the Pur Cameo Contour stick so much. I love this little guy. So one side is a concealer and then the other side is a contour shade. I use it the most for contour because I think it's an amazing contour shade. But yes, you definitely see me using this all the time. I highly recommend the Cameo Contour. Pur came out with lashes. And if you know me, you know that I love lashes. Of wearing falsies, I've always been wearing lashes. Since before my YouTube days, since before I knew how to actually apply false lashes, I've been wearing them and I love them. So then Pur came out with lashes, and they are just the freaking bomb. I can't stop wearing these lashes. My favorites, I'm wearing Flirt on my eyes right now. I love wearing Diva. They are so good, especially for no liner days. Like the bands are just so like thin and they just look so natural on the eyes. Bombshell is gorgeous for more of a va va voom. Trendsetter is more almost to like my natural lash because they're a little bit shorter. They're not like super fluffy or wispy, but I wear them when I'm going for a more natural day and still wearing false lashes. But The Pur Lashes, I cannot stop raving about these. I think they're absolutely fantastic and I definitely recommend checking them out. So those are just a few of my favorite items from Pur. I have a really big Pur collection. I do have actually a full collection. I started my new makeup collection series this month where each month I'm going over everything that I have from a certain brand, and I think I kicked it off with Pur. I think Pur was my very first one that I did in January because it's just really a brand that I love. I don't feel like it gets enough hype, and I feel like a lot of their makeup is like underrated, so I wanted to share some of my favorites. I highly recommend Pur. I'll have the Pur website listed down below. You can also get them at Ulta Beauty, and some of the items that you can also find at Kohl's. Those are some of my favorites, but I highly recommend Pur. If you haven't tried them out, I challenge you, 2017, let it be your year that you do. But leave me some comments down below. Let me know if you do have anything from Pur, if you love the brand as much as I do, and if you have a favorite, or if you plan on trying them out in 2017. The next brand that I want to talk about is Smashbox Cosmetics. Now, I kind of debated Smashbox because to me, I feel like Smashbox is a big brand, but at the same time, I don't feel like they're as big as maybe some of the other ones, and I don't feel like their makeup gets as hyped as some of the other ones. And there's a lot of times, once again, like I mentioned with Pur, where I recommend something or say I like something from Smashbox and people are like, oh, I've never bought anything from Smashbox, I've never tried anything from Smashbox. I mean, I've even had a few people say like, I haven't heard of Smashbox, and I'm like, really? So when I was thinking about this video, I was remembering those comments that I've gotten, and I'm like, you know what, I am gonna put Smashbox in there because I really like them. Once again, a brand that I started buying from before my YouTube days, and that I really just felt like I gravitated towards. Like, you know how you have those brands that they're just your brands, you're loyal to them, you get excited for their releases, you buy a lot of their products, and then there's the brands that you just don't gravitate towards. Like, each of these brands that I'm talking about are ones that I gravitate towards, and Smashbox I definitely do. So one thing that I want to mention is their Smashbox, their Photo Matte Eyes palette. Now, I mentioned this when I did my top 5 best and worst eyeshadow palettes. I mentioned this one and I put it in the best category. When I got this, which was it last summer, I think maybe I bought it, I was obsessed with it and could not put this palette down. Another item from Smashbox, I know this one has gotten a lot of attention, which makes me very happy because it definitely deserves it. It's their Always On liquid lipsticks. These are phenomenal. I did a top 5 best and worst lipstick video, and this was in it, and I was watching a lot of like best and worst lipsticks, and I swear the Always On got mentioned so often. The most recent item that I have from Smashbox that I'm just like truly 100% obsessed with is their collaboration with Casey Holmes. It's the Spotlight palette, and I have mine in Pearl. This little guy is amazing. I highly recommend it. But yeah, those are a few items from Smashbox that I absolutely love, but I definitely recommend Smashbox as a brand as well. I've always been really impressed with what they come out with, and I don't feel like they're a super overwhelming brand, which I also appreciate. You know how some brands just come out with too much, like, like, I feel like Smashbox actually lets me get excited for their releases because it's like, we finally get a new release from Smashbox, that's so exciting, I want to buy it. Whereas with other brands, you're like, oh my gosh, you're coming out with another collection, okay, sure. You know, so I appreciate that about Smashbox and Pur as well, actually. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you have from Smashbox that you absolutely love or recommend, or are you going to try them in 2017? So the next brand that I think that you guys should try in 2017 is a drugstore brand, and it is Pixie Beauty. So I had not tried anything from Pixie Beauty except for their Glow Mist. I was hearing so many good things about it. I went onto my Target and I finally bought it, and I was like, okay, I get what people are raving about, like, this is awesome. And then I never really bought anything else from Pixie because even though they are drugstore, and like I said, you can find them at Target, they're more on the higher end side for drugstore. So sometimes I'd be like, I think I'm going to get that, I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. Like, it was like one of those types of things that I wasn't sure about. And recently I have been added to the Pixie Beauty PR list, which is amazing, and I'm so thankful for that. I've been really excited to get on the PR list because I have realized that this is a damn good brand, and I was sleeping on it. The thing that they did send, it was the first PR package I actually got from them, was a huge box. It was of the full collaboration that they did, or the full collection that they did in collaboration with 4 beauty influencers. These were like the standouts. These were in collaboration with Miriam NYC. They are like bronzer, blush, highlight palettes, and they are bomb. These are in collaboration with Aspen Ovard, and the highlights, they are awesome. And I have seen a lot of other people raving about these as well. GM Beauty 89 is one of them that I believe I've seen. Coffee Break with Danny, I believe, has talked about these as well. These are no joke. These highlights are amazing. They are beautiful and they are popping, but they are soft on the skin. They don't show texture. They stay, like, these got me good. I also love their makeup mist. And I've been saying it in my videos that I've become very obsessed with makeup mist, and it is so true. So this is my glow mist. This is what I originally purchased. And if you want a glow to your face, this is gonna give it to you. But I am obsessed. I don't even know, I mean, you can tell that I have put a dent in this, and I got this pretty recently. This is the Hydrating Milky Mist with hyaluronic acid and black oat. Okay, it says it's a youth preserving mist. I just turned 30, so I basically bathe in this every single day. But also a lot of times in the morning, again, look at how much, I just got these very, very recently. This is the Vitamin Wake Up Mist with orange blossom and citrus extracts. This is so good. I kind of go back and forth between these two, but I use them almost every single day. And sometimes I will just use, well, either both of these. I know I've done it before, even if I'm not doing my makeup, but I'm like, oh, my skin is like feeling a little thirsty. I'll just spray my face. Even if I'm just gonna sit here in my office makeup free all day, I just spray these because I'm obsessed with them and I have a problem. I highly recommend them. I've heard a lot of people talk about this Hydrating Milky Mist. I was actually going to buy it because I had started to hear a lot of hype about it, and then a package showed up from Pixie and I was like, no way. So, I mean, if you were like me and you weren't sure about getting Pixie because yeah, it's drugstore, but yeah, it's still a little bit more expensive, I hope that these recommendations help you out, and I really hope that you do get it because this is a brand that I was like actually disappointed that I was snoozing on. I really was. So yeah, I really wanted to share those recommendations with you, but let me know, what do you have from Pixie? Is there anything that you absolutely love? Are you gonna try them out in 2017? What do you wanna try? Let us know in the comments down below. Next brand that I wanna talk about and recommend is No. 7. And this was a brand that I never even had on my radar. One day I got an email from No. 7. They said, can we send you a package with, you know, like for you to try out some of our products? And I said, sure. And they sent it, and I kind of looked into it a little bit more. You can get them at drugstores. So I get this package, fantastic package, full of great goodies. And I was like, oh, you know, okay. So the first thing that I do is pull out the bronzer. Obviously, I pull out the bronzer first. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know, that's like really nice packaging. Looks good. I open it up and immediately I'm like, okay, a mirror, that's awesome. But like, look how gorgeous that bronzer is. I was like, okay. And the shade that I've been loving is Caramel, and I'm obsessed with it. If you follow me on Instagram, you see me using it in a lot of tutorials because I can't help myself. I'm fairly confident I mentioned this in a favorites video or in my makeup monthly video, and I put it in my favorite section. I was like, okay, that went really well. Let's try something else. So then I grab out the concealer, the Radiant Glow Concealer. I think I actually put this one in a first impressions video, and you could tell in my video that I was like, wait a second. This is a freaking awesome concealer. It's called the Radiant Glow Concealer, and that's exactly what it does. I'm actually wearing it today. It does give your under eyes a beautiful, healthy looking glow, which I didn't know I was missing from my concealers, but once I started using it, I just became obsessed with it. I was reaching for it so much. I actually was going to go out and buy the foundation. I saw Jam Beauty 89 talking about, I believe it was the Stay Perfect foundation that I thought she was talking about. And No. 7 actually DM'd me on Instagram and was like, can we send you something else? And I was like, the foundation maybe? That would be cool. And they did, and they sent me like 5 different shades of the Stay Perfect foundation. I was like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing it the last probably, I don't know, 3 days in a row. But so far, big thumbs up for me. I don't know, like, is there something from this brand I'm not gonna like? I'm sure there has to be, because there's always like duds or products that you just don't get along with from brands, so I'm sure there's gonna be something from No. 7 that I don't absolutely love. I've been really impressed with this foundation, but seriously, No. 7, this, like I said, a brand that I did not have on my radar, and now I'm like constantly recommending it. I'm finding it at the drugstore so I can see what else they have available. They're also available at Ulta, so I'll have them linked down below, but I have just been super impressed. So if you haven't tried anything yet from No. 7, I highly recommend that you try them out in 2017. But of course, let us know in the comments, have you tried anything? Has this been like your brand forever and you're just now wondering why more people are talking about it? Let us know in the comments down below, or let us know if you're gonna give this one a whirl in 2017. So the next brand I wanna talk about is another one that I mention all of the time. I wasn't sure if I was gonna put it in here because, like I said, I was trying to do some brands that I thought maybe weren't as well known, or, you know, kind of underrated brands. But honestly, sometimes I kind of feel this way with Sigma Beauty. I love Sigma Beauty. I've been purchasing from them for so long, way before my YouTube days. I think this was my very first high-end makeup brushes that I started buying, and I've done a Sigma Beauty makeup collection, and from the comments in there, so many people, again, I've never heard of Sigma Beauty, I've never tried anything from Sigma Beauty, oh, I need to make a purchase from Sigma Beauty, I've never have. So that's kind of why I decided to include it, and again, just because it's one of my favorite brands, one that I'm constantly recommending, and one that I just have a huge collection. The Sigma brushes are definitely what I gravitate towards, but a couple of their makeup items that I really love. One is their blushes. I know I mentioned this in an underrated makeup video, because I feel like no one talks about the Sigma blushes, and they are freaking really, really good. The one, I feel like this gets more recognition than the blush, but the gel liner from Sigma, I have mine in Wicked, which is the black, and it's freaking awesome. A really good gel liner, really easy to work with, really black, and I just love it. But definitely what I love the most from Sigma is their brushes. This is like a 1/7 of my collection because I have so many Sigma brushes. I love makeup brushes. I have like a weird obsession with buying them. Sigma is by far my favorite brush brand. If you are looking for good brushes and good quality makeup brushes, I highly recommend Sigma. I do have a full Sigma collection video as well, so I'll leave that link down below because I go through each of the brushes and let you know what I think about them and what I use them for, but they are awesome. I am a Sigma affiliate. I cried like a baby the day that they asked me to be an affiliate with them because, like I said, one of the first high-end brands that I was purchasing from, my first high-end brushes that I was purchasing from, and then for it to come, it was almost like full circle, you know, and because Sigma was my first big brand affiliation that was offered to me, and you know, to have it come full circle like that, like really meant so much to me. Like, why? But really just meant a lot to me, and it was like a big deal for me. So I am a Sigma affiliate, but again, that's not the only reason why I recommend these, because I've been recommending them way before. I did my Sigma collection video before I was an affiliate with them, so that has no bearing to it, but I do have a code with them. It's just Samantha. You can get 10% off your order. I'm always recommending their brushes. Let us know in the comments down below, what do you have from Sigma? Are you still hoping to make a purchase from them in 2017? Let us know in the comments. Okay, I have 2 more brands left to talk about. The next one that I want to talk about is Hooter Beauty. This is another one I kind of went back and forth on because I was like, I kind of feel like Hooter Beauty does get a lot of hype. Like, she has like a completely poppin' Instagram, and I know a lot of people really love following her over there. But even with that being said, the reason why I decided to include it is I didn't totally buy into it right away. And so once I finally did, I was like, oh man, like I totally should have done this sooner. So that's why I wanted to put it in this video, because it is just a brand that I definitely would recommend. I also think it's really amazing that Hooter is a girl boss, and I always love to support some girl bosses. So what I tried out from her first was her lashes. There we go. Were the lashes. These are the Hooter Lashes in Samantha, and they are amazing. You can find Hooter Beauty at Sephora. But more recently, I was able to try out her liquid lipsticks, and they are phenomenal. Phenomenal. I have the shades Trendsetter and Bombshell. Bombshell is actually still in my clutch from my friend's wedding because it is what I wore during the wedding, and I haven't cleaned that out yet because I'm kind of lazy that way. But I love these liquid lipsticks. I mentioned them in my top 5 best and worst lipsticks, and these went in the best because they are amazing. And I wore these on my friend's wedding. I applied Bombshell, which is a really pretty nude pink. I applied it at 3:30. At 2:30 a.m. my lipstick looked great. I did not touch up once. Not one time. These are minis because I bought them in a little contour set, and it came with 2 mini liquid lipsticks, but I'm buying more full sizes because I think they are that good. Definitely recommend Hooter Beauty, both for the eyelashes and the lipsticks. Okay, the last brand I want to talk about, I went back and forth with so many brands because I wanted to mention a brand that I put in my 7 brands I want to try in 2017. I really wanted to talk about a brand that I put in that video and kind of like do a little follow-up from that one. And I had a couple different brands in there that I mentioned that I have tried in 2017, but the one that I had to give it to is Violet Voss. Now, I've only tried one thing from Violet Voss, and this is it, is the Holy Grail eyeshadow palette. But I really wanted to include it because I really do feel that strongly about this palette. And a huge thank you to my beautiful friend Michelle who sent this to me. She watched the 7 brands I want to buy in 2017, and she ended up getting this for me, and I was so thankful because I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I would have purchased from them, but it might have not been super soon. So for her to get this to me and completely sell me on Violet Voss, I'm just so thankful for her. So huge thank you to Michelle. This palette is beautiful. Like I said, it's the Holy Grail palette. And these eyeshadows, I've always heard really good things about the Violet Voss eyeshadow formula, and so that's why I wanted to buy it. That's why I mentioned it in my previous video, but it's gorgeous. It has this giant mirror, and yeah, the Holy Grail palette, I've been obsessed with it. So I would definitely want to try more from Violet Voss in 2017, but if you've been eyeing this brand like I was, I want to tell you guys that I think you should go ahead and make a purchase, especially on the eyeshadow palettes, because that's really what I can only recommend right now. But the Holy Grail palette is absolutely beautiful. I'm really happy I got it. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you have from Violet Voss, or what are you hoping to get from Violet Voss, or are you hoping that 2017 is the year that you do purchase from Violet Voss? Because I've been so happy with my palette. Alright guys, so that's going to be everything for my 7 brands I think you should try in 2017. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe a little bit something different, but again, the 7 brands I want to try in 2017 video seem to go over really well, so I thought I could do a little spin on that one and just recommend some of my favorite brands and some of my favorite products to you. I know if you guys follow me on other social media outlets, you probably see me using these products all the time, so you know that I really am like ride or die for a lot of these, and they're just products that I love recommending and I love using. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful in some way. Leave me some comments down below about the brands and the products that I mentioned, or what are some brands that you want to try in 2017, or what are some brands that you think I should try in 2017. I would love to know. I love interacting with you guys in the comments. I do read and respond to all of them, so I appreciate them so much, and the feedback is so helpful to me. So if you did enjoy this video, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. I really hope that you will consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys real soon in my next one. Bye.